Hello, hello. Welcome. My name is Rivera-Dannert, and I am the founder and CEO of MRD Empowerment Solutions. I am a certified life and leadership coach. I am the podcast host and creator of Fearless Fridays with Marianne. I am the co-author of 14 and counting anthologies, and I am also the editor-in-chief to the newly released magazine, Fabulousness Unleashed. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about a topic that you are probably very familiar with. We are going to be discussing fear. More specifically, how to tackle your relationship with fear. I believe that fear comes to us in one of three ways, which I will be sharing those with you shortly. And then we are going to talk about 8 key points on how to tackle your relationship with fear. And then we are going to wrap it up with 8 strategy steps for you to take today to start taking action to working on your relationship with fear so you can live the life that you deserve and that you desire. So fear comes to us in one of 3 ways, I believe. One, by those that raised us, whether we were raised with our biological parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, adoptive parents, whomever raised us. I believe that the fears that they struggled with and the fears that they experienced, especially if they were unresolved, were passed down to us. Number 2, by society, whether it's social media, whether it's the movies that we watch, the shows that we engage in, the music that we listen to, anything that's outside of ourselves, society. I believe it's another way that fear enters our lives. And then number 3 is events, something that actually occurred to us, whether it's some form of trauma, some form of adversity, anything that occurred to us that was not positive can lead to fear being manifested in our lives. So why is it important that we get a handle on our fear? When we are fearful, we are living in bondage. We are letting whatever it is that we are fearful of keep us stuck, whether it's fear of heights, whether it's fear of flying, fear of success, fear of failing, fear of stepping outside of our comfort zone, fear of trying something new, fear of launching that business that you have been desiring for so long to start, fear of writing the book, fear of whatever it is. What are you fearful of? What have you been allowing fear to keep you stuck in? So fill in the blank. Take a moment to reflect on that. What are you fearful of? And what have you allowed fear to keep you stuck and held in bondage of? So let's get into the key points on how to tackle your fear. Number 1, acknowledge that fear is a natural human emotion. Fear, we are humans, so we are going to feel fearful in life. For example, let's say that you were walking down an alley and it's dark. You hear something, whether it's, the leaves are shuffling, you hear a noise, immediately something happens to you. Your ears perk up. Yes, your arms, your hands are going to feel clammy and sweaty. Your heart is going to be racing. That is alerting you that something is off. Something is possibly creeping around the corner. Something can happen. So that fear is good because it's going to alert you that you need to, be attentive, that you need to pay attention, that you need to be alert because if you need to run, you got to be ready to run. So fear is not a bad thing. Fear serves a purpose. So acknowledge that fear is a natural human emotion, and it's not about eliminating our fear, but it's about understanding and managing the fear. Identify the source of your fears. Number 2, before you tackle the fear, you need to identify what you are afraid of. And that's how we started talking about. It could be something specific or it can be something more abstract or unknown. So make sure that step number 2, that you identify your fear. Step number 3, understand the impact of the fear in your life. Fear oftentimes controls more of your life than you are aware of. So make sure that you understand what fear is taking away from you in life. Number 4, reframe your fear as an opportunity for growth. Instead of viewing your fear as a barrier, see it as an opportunity to step outside of your comfort zone, Try something new, do something new, because believe it or not, once you take that step forward, you're going to pause and you're going to say, that wasn't bad. I survived it. So use it as an opportunity for growth. Number 5, cultivate compassion. When dealing with your fear, be kind to yourself. Understand that fear does not make you weak. It does not make you less human. It does not make you soft. It's actually the opposite. It makes you human because you're feeling that something is off, that something needs to be worked on. So be gentle with yourself as you acknowledge that something is wrong and that you start to face and work on that fear. Number 6, empower yourself with knowledge and preparation. Oftentimes we are fearful of something because it's unknown to us. We haven't tried something. And again, because of those that raised us, by what we see and what we hear, in society, the movies, the music that we listen to, we assume that something is going to, horrible is going to happen. And we allow these external forces to make a decision for us instead of us taking our power back and empowering ourselves to take action. Build a support system is key point number 7. Surround yourself with people who understand your fear, whether it's, a support group, whether it's friends, family, whether it's a therapist. It's important that if your fear is like keeping you stuck in bed, for days on end, if you are extremely if you feel that once you start thinking about what you're fearful of and you feel that it's something irrational and you can't put a key point or a handle on the origin of this fear, where it came from, how it has manifested and gotten to the point that it is, it's important that you seek professional therapy to help you narrow down and get down to what the root of the issue is. Number 8, commit to taking consistent action. Tackling fear is not something that's going to be a one and done. It's something that you are going to have to continuously face, that you are going to have to continuously work on to increase your confidence, to increase your boldness. And before you know it, you are going to be rocking it out. So make sure that you commit to consistent action. It is not a one and done. It is going to be continuous work and it's going to be a continuous process. So now that we have discussed the 3 ways that fear comes into our lives, we have discussed the 8 key points on how to tackle our fear. We are now going to talk about 8 strategic steps that we can take to overcome and work on a relationship with fear. So number 1, start by journaling your fears. Write down the things that you are fearful of. It does not matter how big or how small. It could be you're afraid of spiders, something small, or you could be afraid of something major, like going out by yourself or flying or driving. You could be afraid of being in a relationship because you were hurt in the past. So no matter what what you're fearful of, no matter how big, no matter how small, don't give it a range. Don't give it a number of significant on the significant scale. Just write down everything that you are fearful of. Number 2, practice mindfulness and meditation. When we slow down long enough to quiet our minds and to process things and to clear our minds, we are able to make better decisions with a healthier mindset. And you're able to stay present and not make assumptions and move too far into the future or revert back to the past. So practice mindfulness and meditation. Number 3, break down your fears. If there are rational fears that you feel that you can tackle on your own or with a support system, break down your fears into small, manageable steps. So for example, let's take heights, because heights could be getting off the floor, 3 feet, or it could be hiking, it could be skydiving, it could be zip lining. So those are higher. So take your fears and work on them slowly. If it's, again, let's take heights. If you're afraid of heights, again, once you've acknowledged where this fear has come from, Make a plan. How are you going to work on tackling this fear? It could be taking the stairs. It could be, if you're going up, the elevator, going to the rooftop of a building, and just gently walking towards the edge and just looking down. Don't do it for too long. Again, baby steps. Climbing a little higher, one floor higher, taking a step closer to the edge, a step closer to the edge. And then once you feel ready, look over the edge. Don't climb on the edge, okay? Just look over the edge and you're going to realize that it's not that big of a deal. And when it comes to heights, because this is something that I was fearful of, what is it about heights that scares you? I have this irrational fear of bridges with water underneath. Not like the expressway and you're going over overpath and there's more roads at the bottom, but bridges with water underneath. And it was like, why is it that one bridge scares the living life out of me, but the other bridges don't? And for me, when I started doing more reflecting and thinking about it and journaling, it was because I don't know how to swim. So in my mind, bridges with water underneath, God forbid something was to happen, I'm going to drown. Not the fact that the bridge probably fell apart, that's going to kill me, but the fact that I don't know how to swim. So again, just take a look at what you're fearful of and why. Number 4, challenge the negative thoughts. So again, when fear arises, question the validity of these fears. Is it something that was passed down to us by those that raised us? Was it something that we seen in, a movie that we watched? Or is it something that's based on something that actually occurred to us? So if it's something that's based on reality, again, get some therapy, get some help to work through that. And if it's based on assumptions, replace that negative mindset with positive affirmations, with positive thinking to reprogram your thought patterns. Number 8, visualize positive outcomes. So instead of focusing on what could go wrong, reframe it. Focus on what can go right. Visualize yourself making shifts towards a positive mindset and replace fear with possibility. So visualize yourself accomplishing something. If you are, again, whatever you're fearful of, if you're fearful of getting yourself back out there and being in a relationship because you have either, been divorced or you've been in several, bad relationships that did not work out, picture yourself being with a significant other, man or woman, in a relationship and it's thriving, you're laughing, you're having fun. Focus on the positive. Visualize the positive. Number 6, take gradual exposure steps. So again, if you have a specific fear, start with small and manageable experiences and steps that are going to grow into taking bigger action. Because as you approach one fear, not approach one fear, but as you work on the fear and you take one small step towards that fear, you are going to get confident. You are going to be walking with your head high, with your shoulders back. You are going to be excited about the next time that you have to do this thing. But again, repetition is very important. So make sure that you are consistent. And number 7, which we have kind of already talked about this a few times, make sure that you seek professional help if needed. There is absolutely nothing wrong whatsoever with therapy, with counseling. Make sure that you speak to a mental health professional that can help you and get to the root of your problem. It is a sign of strength. Unlike unpopular belief that a lot of people feel that it's a sign of weakness if you need therapy or you go see someone, it is actually the opposite. It is a sign of strength to speak to a mental health professional. And step number 8, reflect and adjust regularly. As you work through your fears, regularly assess your progress. Check in, have an accountability partner so they can check in on you often, that you can bounce ideas off of, that you can share your experiences with, and possibly even partner with you and take, and take part with you in one of these activities that you are going to be tackling as you overcome your fears. So again, to wrap up, we have talked about 3 key ways that fear enters our lives, either by those that we were raised by, either by society, for example, the movies, the shows that we watch, or the music that we listen to, or something actually occurred to us that has allowed this fear to get into our lives and manifest itself. And then we shared 8 key points on how to tackle your relationship with fear. Acknowledge fear as a natural emotion, identify the source of your fear, understand the impact that fear is having on your life, reframe fear as an opportunity for growth, cultivate self-compassion, be gentle with yourself, empower yourself with knowledge and preparation, build a support system, and commit to consistent action. And then again, wrapping up the 8 strategic steps for you to take action today. Number 1, start by journaling and identifying your fears. Practice mindfulness and meditation. Break down your fears into small, manageable steps. Challenge negative thoughts. Visualize positive outcomes. Take gradual exposures. Seek professional help if needed. And reflect and adjust as necessary. I truly hope that this has helped you in understanding fear just a little bit more, in tackling and acknowledging what the fears are that are keeping you stuck. Because again, you deserve to live a bold, fearless, and fabulous life. You are a priority. You matter. Your dreams matter. And it is time that you start to live life on purpose and with passion. To connect with me, my website is Rivera-Dannert.com. I am on social media as Rivera-Dannert.com. I look forward to partnering with you and connecting with you. And let's connect and let me know how I can help you and if these tips have helped you. Stay fearless, stay fabulous. And as always, remember that you are a priority and you matter. Conquer your fear and live boldly.